on Positively Muskegon. I am Eddie Sanders Jr. and I am your host for this segment, and I am so excited about my guest. He's a dear friend, he's a man of class, intelligence, and a distinguished gentleman in his own right. Come on Positively Muskegon and help me welcome my guest, Mr. Kevin Cummings.
Wow.
Kevin, thank you, man, for coming to Positively Muskegon. I really appreciate you.
My pleasure, and I certainly feel welcome after that.
Oh, okay, well thank you, thank you. Yes, it was when I thought about who would be my next guest after the segment we had with Beth Atkins, you came to mind immediately because you do so much, you're so committed, you are a loyal person to everything that you do, and your vocabulary is just otherworldly. So I said that we would have Kevin Cummings on today. And once again, welcome to Positively Muskegon. And as you may see, Positively Muskegon, we are dressed in our orange and black. We are Muskegon Heights Tigers, Tigers for life.
Tiger Pride.
Yeah, Tiger Pride is nothing like it.
That's right.
And speaking of that, you of course are from Muskegon Heights. And
born and raised, yes, absolutely. Lived here most of my life, went off to college and came back after I worked, lived in Florida for a little while and wound up back here and making the best of it, you know, enjoying it, and it's an awesome place. It's an awesome place in many regards.
All right. Now, after Muskegon Heights, after you graduated in 1977.
Correct. You're telling my age.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Prom class of 77.
You went off to college.
I did.
And what university was that?
I went off to Michigan State University, go green, go white, and pursued my degree, and it was an awesome experience. In fact, I grew a lot, not just in terms of academically, but I mean, that's a special time in your life anyway. You leave home a child and you come back a man.
That's right.
You're 18 when you leave and you come back around in your early 20s, 21. So it was a pivotal time in my life. I learned a lot there, not only just in terms of my academics, but socially and all of that. So it was a great experience.
From boys to men.
Boys to men.
Boys to men. Now, speaking of MSU, the green and white, there's a big weekend coming up. It's going to happen in East Lansing, but they will have some visitors from Ann Arbor that go by the name of the University of Michigan Wolverines. Now, I like Michigan State a little. But my sister, Paulette, graduated in 1975, I believe, from University of Michigan.
That's
so,
right.
Hail to the victors. But hey, you know, Michigan State has lost, what, 5 weeks in a row? Weekends in a row?
But Michigan State has beat Michigan. And we will rise to the occasion.
You will rise to the occasion.
Don't get it twisted.
We always do. We always do. And as I just looked at you, Kev, you just always impeccably dressed. I remember when I was a younger guy and I used to watch the older Tigers. And you all had so much pride in your dress, and your hair was always groomed, and your ties, man, where you get your socks? Your sock game is just impeccable. If he just raised his pants leg up Positively Muskegon right now, the socks you would see you can't find anywhere else in the world. Sometimes I wonder if he has his own tailor for his socks, man. Where do you shop?
I shop everywhere, man. I couldn't even pinpoint a place. I shop everywhere I go, and I receive a lot of gifts. I'm kind of like a guy that people don't know what to buy, so oftentimes people buy me socks.
They buy you socks?
They buy me socks.
Okay.
And so, you know, you have to wear your gifts. So I make it all come together. But yeah, I came up in a time where we did take a lot of pride about it. Was a slightly more formal time.
Yes.
We're a very casual society, and that's good in many ways now. But I caught the end of an era where, you know, you dressed up to get on the airplane, and you dressed up every day to go out, to come downtown and all of that. And so I kind of held on to that, and we dressed up to go to church every Sunday and all of that. So, you know, I guess I'm a little old school in that respect.
Well, I'm old school too.
You are old school.
And speaking of gifts, I have a bow tie set for you,
Okay.
orange and black. Can you get in on that one?
Now this is
the close up.
This is why I love this guy.
The orange and black big bow tie set
Love
for
it.
my friend.
Awesome, dude. You know I'm wearing this.
Yeah. It's from me to you, man.
Love it.
From little brother Tiger to big brother Tiger.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
will wear it with pride.
All right. Speaking of pride, there's something called Tiger Pride. We from Muskegon Heights, it goes deep. It's rooted deeply. And the only way you could really feel it, you have to have walked the halls of Muskegon Heights High School. So, Kev, just give the people of Positively Muskegon a little insight on what it's like to be a Tiger and have Tiger Pride. What is Tiger Pride all about?
You know, this is a subject that I often contemplate and that I've discussed with a lot of people because it is a very unique thing. And everyone has an affinity for where they come from, you know, that kind of thing. But we have a very particular pride about our school and our city. And I also often contemplate, what is that all about? You know, and I have a lot of theories. But at the end of the day, the fact is that it's very real, it's very unique, and it runs deep. I mean, in executing events and trying to do things, it's just always so easy to get people inspired to do something for Muskegon Heights. People that are alumni of the school or people who are supporters of the school and of the city. And I'm grateful for that. We do have a deep and an abiding relationship, a love for where we came from. I think our parents gave over and above. They served in the school and PTA and band parents and served in the concession stand and supported us in our every endeavor. You know, my parents actually went off to school with me. I mean, when I went to college, they were still supporting me. You know, we have those kind of people. It's a real village. It's really a real village. Our teachers, our principal, we still have relationships. I graduated in '77 and I still have relationships with my principal, Mr. Wester, my band director, Mr. Moore, Brother Harris,
That's right.
Dr. Padres. If you're out in Las Vegas, he'll invite you in his home, take you to church with you, take him to eat. We just have really deep and abiding relationships. And also Muskegon Heights was a community. It was not by any means a monolith. I mean, in my block, we had a doctor at the end of the block, the mailman 3 blocks over. Then at that time, most people worked in the factories, you know, in Seal Power and in Campbell Wine and Cannon, and just, it was just a melting pot of people that came from so many different backgrounds and had so many different socioeconomic influences, and so it was just a really, really interesting mix, and I just think it made a very special product. Tigers are a very unique being, very.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And just to keep it real, Positively Muskegon, we all know that we've had some discrepancies and a few things that have happened in the city. We'll just call it what it is, murders and different crimes. But I look you in the eye, Positively Muskegon, for every one child who has made the wrong decision, you have 300 to 400 people who are rooted, who will come together, and we will stand united in the city of Muskegon Heights, and we will stand as one village, as one community, and move forward continuously. Now, it's going to happen in small increments, but we will eventually take that mountain down, for we are the mighty Heights Tigers. I kind of feel like preaching right now, but I'm gonna just leave it alone. No, but really, and the pride that you carry in your heart and in your spirit has transcended over to something that happens once a year, and it recently happened at Mona Lake Park, and it's called.
It's a Tiger Tailgate. It's our annual homecoming event. And want to give a little history on that?
Sure, go ahead.
How that came about is when I went off to Michigan State University, I was a cheerleader for Michigan State. In the era that Magic Johnson was there, my freshman year, we were classmates. Mm-hmm. It was a very exciting time to be there. And but as a cheerleader, we served as sort of ambassadors for the university, so that on game Saturday, we went around to all the alumni tailgates, and we did the fight song and the school song and all of those things. And they were huge events prior to the game, and it were just every Saturday. It was just so much pomp and circumstance and so much joy. I mean, it really affected me. You know, it taught me, even as an 18-year-old, 20-year-old, it taught me about sportsmanship. The other universities, Notre Dame, Michigan, Ohio State, they would come and tailgate as well, and it would just be a huge event, and it would be a huge sharing. Everywhere you went, they offered you food and drinks, and you know, it really put things into perspective. If you're just young and you just watch the games and you think, Ohio State and Michigan are mortal enemies, and they are, but it puts it into perspective. If you could only see what went on prior to the game, the collegialism and the sharing and the giving and all of that. And so when I left there, I thought this would be something that we could do in Muskegon Heights. I think that it will work.
And you have been spearheading this for 17 years.
17 years now.
And the city looks forward to it. Yeah. And it's always a day of joy and a day of peace and unity in the city of Muskegon Heights. It's just a day where all of your troubles just disappear for 8 to 10 hours. And we get reunited with old acquaintances, and we meet new Tigers and the new up and coming Tigers. And I just commend you for staying valiant and diligent in your vision, which has been 17 years now.
Yes. And
this last one was epic. And I just want to thank you for that. And one other thing I wanted to share is the documentary that they had on Muskegon Heights. I think that was awesome. Awesome job done by WZZM 13 Grand Rapids. We thank you for that, yes, for showing the better side of Muskegon Heights, for we are the city of friendly people. And I was just thrown back, and I just want to publicly say thank you to Mayor Sims and Elena Zachary Ross, Chief Joseph Thomas, and all of the Heights Tigers who lifted a finger to make that documentary possible. Kevin, it's been an honor to be with you. I'm just thankful and grateful that you took time out of your busy schedule. He works for the Michigan Department of Corrections third shift.
Yes.
And I asked him to come in for the interview, and he said, I will work third shift, but I will make it happen.
Right.
And I thank you for that, man.
Well, I thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to share with you on any level, but particularly in this effort, it's my pleasure.
Well, you heard it here first on Positively Muskegon. I am your host, Eddie Sanders Jr., and in part, I wish you peace, prosperity, and positivity, for positive thinking brings positive actions. God bless.